Alright, quick update on Luna. So we're continuing to push up since my last video. In the last video we talked about a few different ranges, mainly these tops that we've got up here. I mean, if you want to draw it from the psychological level to candle body close, you can see we've got resistance coming in at approximately $100. The absolute previous all-time high, not including this local high that we had above it, is coming in at $103, and we're pushing up very closely to these resistances right now. We're seeing continuation, and as you can see, we're basically break even on the day right now, and I would consider that a win considering how Bitcoin is having a slight hit in the past 8 hours or so. I do think this is a slight correction. As you can see in the micro time frame, we're back at the 618 Fibonacci. The bulls are still in control of the lower time frames, and the same with the bears. I talked about this momentum shift that we had where the bears were losing momentum in terms of Luna. If we look down here at the squeeze mom, which is the squeeze momentum indicator, the bears lost control on the 18th of March, and that is indicative of these red candles here. If we come down to the 18th of March, you can see this was the absolute bottom down here for Luna, and I highlighted before, if we come back to the previous bottom that we put in terms of these dark red candles, we were at the 4th of February and we were down here at $50. That momentum shift all the way until the squeeze mom turned dark green, indicative that the bears, or the bulls, are losing control rather. We stepped back in until all the way up here, and then we really started the downtrend with the dark green candles there. So on the 11th of March we topped out at $101. So the last momentum shift we saw like that, we came from, you know, $47 to $50 all the way up to $104, and we're once again seeing this. You know, we're only up from 75 to 95, which is a great impulse since we changed over on this squeeze bomb. We're up 30%, but I still do believe we're going to come up and hit the upper channel here. You can see, if I zoom out a little bit more, you can see we've had this bottom line of support in for a very long time, since July 2021. But if we connect these two tops up here, the previous all-time high with the current all-time high, you can see we are in a very bullish ascending channel, and this 200-day moving average has just been support the whole time, which is great. This is exponentially increasing. This means that, you know, we've never come really below this 200-day moving average, only once. Other times we've come back to it, we've back tested it. So in my opinion, this means the cheapest that Luna can come down to is between $67, and if we're going to have a quick move below it like we did before, like I said, anywhere around about this $63 before we do have an impulse up. I don't think that's likely that we're going to have a push down. It is just something to be aware of in case Bitcoin starts, you know, pulling a rug and falling through the table. Luna has a lot of good support down there. So what am I looking at now? So in the last video we were talking about this 30% increase to the upside. We're only up a couple of percent, so we have only had a slight bit of continuation. But on the daily, you can see these EMA ribbons bounce back perfectly. They almost had a fake out, and now they are heading back up in the higher time frames. And as you can see, higher time frames as well, bears are losing control. This is great. This means, in my opinion, we are going to see continuation past the previous all-time high up to approximately $120, where the top of this trend line tops out. Now that is where I potentially look to take some profit on Luna in the short term. If we come back down, you know, and we could see something like this. Obviously this is a very hopeful situation where we do get the best of both worlds, where we can sell at the top of the channel, hopefully come back down to $65, get a nice dip, and then we can talk about potentially breaking out later on in the year to the first Fibonacci extension level at the 1.618 fib up here at $141. So either way, I see, you know, best case scenario or more let me correct that. So best case scenario in the short term, we could come up to $140. In a more conservative scenario, you could see a push up to the upper trend line, which is what I'm currently predicting as a move up to $120, which, like I said, is about a 27% increase from where we are right now. I'm really liking the setup with Luna. In the lower time frames as well, you can see we're having a strong amount of selling volume coming in, so this could mean, you know, we could potentially come back down to the short-term moving average approximately at $91. before we do have that reversal. Either way, I'm not going to be really betting on a really small move, you know, like a $3 move for Luna. I'm not going to be putting my money on that. Nonetheless, it is just something we should keep into our minds, because the bullish momentum has started to subside, but I like how these 4-hourly EMAs have flipped. I think this is a healthy correction, and we'll need to keep our eyes on Bitcoin, because if Bitcoin starts to landslide, then, you know, like I said, we could potentially be coming back down into these EMAs at $90 to $88. So I am expecting continuation for Luna, even if we have a slight pullback. You can see daily EMA ribbons down here. Once again, we've got that $92, which nicely lines up with what's going on the 4-hourly EMAs down here. You can also see the bottom of these 4-hourly EMAs is at $80, and on the daily EMAs, convincingly as well, it lines up. We've got a bottom down here at $88. So I personally don't see, if we do have a flush out, us going much lower than, you know, 6.5%. I do like how this macro momentum shift has kind of stepped in, and as I highlighted before, the last time we had this huge momentum shift in favor of the bulls, we were down here at $51 and we went up to 105. So I like the setup on Luna. I am still in my trade. I am banking on us coming up to $120. That is all I've got for you today. Not financial advice, and yeah, cowboy out. Peace.